Hi, this is Jen with the Volusia County Public Library Hope Place branch, and today's craft will be our Fall in a Cup centerpiece. It is adorable. It will look great on any table in the coming season. And let me just get some items together for you to start the craft. The items that you'll need for our centerpiece start with our saucer and our mug. It could be any mug and saucer, does not have to match, it's up to you. I just chose fall colors. I found these at the local dollar store. This is just a larger ceramic one. You can go with a teacup and saucer, a smaller petite teacup. You can do anything that you would like. You will need a large fork. You're going to need rocks. You can go ahead and use crafting rocks, or you could go outside and clean them up really nice, river rocks, whatever you'd have. And we're going to need enough rocks to go all the way around the bottom of the inside of the saucer, because that's going to be our weight to hold the cup up in the air. We're going to need some, for this project, I'm going to be using hot glue to show you, but what I would suggest is if you use a heavier ceramic like I am, they sell this at the dollar store. It's a kind of an epoxy. I would go with this and let it cure for 24 hours. So you will also need some pliers or little needle nose pliers, trimmers. And then we get into our decorations. So like I said, I am going to be using the hot glue, and I'm going to be using a high temp hot glue. But I also have my florals. Lots of beautiful fall colors are out right now. Get anything that you like. You can customize this to however you want to do it. I have some leaves. I liked the little owl that they had. They have little scarecrows and all kinds of little fall friends hanging around right now, and I like the little owls. So also you will need, if you'd like, I have some pumpkins. I have all different sizes. I have the little white ones, so we can have some color contrast with the white and orange. So let's get started. To create our mug, we're going to go ahead and we're going to need to bend our fork, and our fork is what's going to be holding our mug up. So let's start with, we're going to be holding the fork just like this, and whether you have pliers or needle nose, whatever you have, you're going to go ahead and bend the fork in just like that, okay? Doesn't have to be perfectly straight again, it's fine. So we're looking for that. So now that we have our fork bent like that, now we're gonna take our tongs and the outside two, whatever way is easier for you, you're just gonna bend those up a little bit. I think this is easier. Okay, so we're taking our two outside tongs, bending them up, and then kind of straightening them. And it's going to depend on how thick your mug is, because it should just be able to, we're going to get it to the point where we can just slide our mug onto. So I'm going to bring my center down a little bit more as well. This being a rather heavy and thick ceramic mug, I had to bring my bottom down just a little bit further than you would if it was a thinner mug. So it doesn't have to be perfect, we just need to make sure that it fits snugly on the mug. Okay. We want to get as close to the front of the tongs as we can, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and glue down my tongs, and then I'm going to flip it over, glue down the bottom, and I will be right back. I've generously glued the inside tongs and also the outside. Make sure you get in all the nooks and crannies and cover everything. Give it a very good glue. You want to make sure that it gets very solid. Let the hot glue get completely cool to the touch. And then we're going to move on to the rest of the fork. So the fork, now we have to have it sit on the plate. Where I would go is this little dent right here, okay? And we're going to just take our, whether you have pliers, needle nose, and hold on to the fork and bend this upwards. That's what we're looking for right there, okay? Now that we have our fork shaped to how high and how we would like it to sit on our plate, what I would suggest is to find something, whether it be another mug. I'm lucky that this little plastic is high enough to help me hold up. So we're going to generously, at the end of the plate, we're going to hot glue our fork to our plate, okay? And you're going to have to hold it until it dries, but just cover it, because we're going to cover the rocks. You're never going to see any of this glue. Don't forget the back. So yes, we're being very generous. There's a heaping pile. I'm just gonna hold this until it sets. It'll take just a couple minutes, and then I'll show you the next step. Now that my fork is glued to my plate, I was very, very generous with the glue. There's like a glob there. This is what you would use if you didn't choose to use the epoxy. I'm gonna hold this steady. I'm going to start adding my rocks. Now, my rocks are going to be glued on top of the fork as well, so that's going to help it to make this more stable. So I'm just going to place my hot glue on the back of my rocks. And just fit them around the plate. On the inside, we don't want it on this outside ring, because that's where, we want to be able to see the saucer because it's pretty. I finished putting all the rocks on the center of the saucer, and guess what? It is freestanding. This, like I said, this mug is very heavy, so you want to go ahead and put as many rocks as it takes to go ahead and hold this without it being, without it tipping easily. So yours might need a couple more rocks. This is a little bit wobbly. If you would like, at this point, now that everything is dry, and I made sure the rocks were covering the end of the fork, and also I put more glue down inside just to make sure. But now that everything is nice and solid and we're going to start decorating, if you have a heavy ceramic mug, it can be done. It will stand. But just to make sure, because I want this to last a while, I'm going to go ahead and put this epoxy over the hot glue, okay? Just as an extra precaution. Does have a little bit of a smell to it. And all I'm going to do is just drip it on there and let it adhere to the plate and the fork. So I've got the bottom. And this is clear as well. And then on the inside, and that cuts the time down on having to wait on doing your project if you're ready to go. Our mug is now freestanding. We've added a little bit of assurance because this was an extra heavy mug with the epoxy. It'll take about 24 hours for that to cure, but we can decorate around that. That's not a problem because it is already tacky and it might even hold the flowers on better. So now it is time to just have fun and decorate with whatever you have. One of the things that I liked very much was these flowers that I got from the dollar store. And I wanted to start, they have the little bottoms here. You can just cut that right off because we want to get it flush. And I thought it looked nice. You can choose any color you'd like, but I thought it looked like a very nice contrast to have something lighter on the inside and then flourish around. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna start to decorate any way that you would like your centerpiece to be. You may have different flowers, you may have anything you want. So I'm gonna start with right in there. Now that I have my first flower placed, a nice bright color to kind of contrast all the orange. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep adding flowers, working down the fork, and then I'm going to start to place some of my other items. Maybe I'll want a pumpkin, or I got to figure out where I want to have my little friend in here. You know, do I want him off on a side? So this is really up to you, however you'd like to do it. We'll add a couple more flowers together. This is exactly what we are looking for right now. We want a flower or something, whatever your decoration is, big enough to cover the fork on the inside so you can't see it. And then we're going to start to decorate down the fork into the saucer. You want to leave some of the saucer showing on the bottom with your when you finish your decorations, so that people know that it's a free floating mug on a saucer centerpiece. Do not forget to save flowers or whatever your decoration is for your back, because since this will be sitting on the table, we want to have everything covered. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, decorate it, and I'll be right back. This is my completed Fall in a Mug centerpiece. As you can see, I went all the way around with my decoration. I used some of the leaves to cover the bottom of the fork on the mug. Go all the way around. And there you go. I want to thank you for watching my video, and I hope you enjoyed our craft of the Fall in a Mug centerpiece. Don't forget to check us out at volusialibrary.org, or you could go on our Facebook page for Volusia Library. Also, we have an Instagram, or you can go on YouTube and watch our videos where Volusia is getting crafty. I'll see you on my next video. Bye-bye.